Hey everyone, another edition here of the Regina Rosa Celeste Show, also known as Pearls of Peace. And I am calling it a podcast, learning so much about the world of podcasting. Did you know that there is such a thing as vlogcasting? How about web streaming or a webcast? You might wonder, what is the difference and why is it important? Well, right now, believe it or not, there is so many amazing resources and tools for success in all areas of business. Whether you're a yogi like me and a Reiki master, or you're in traditional business like real estate, which many of you know I'm in, or even mortgage or consulting or let's see, accounting, right? More and more, I'm seeing amazing resources available, and a lot of them I use myself. And I'm super excited because today I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. I'm actually on my phone using a software that I use every week, and it's called StreamYard, and I love it. It's awesome. And recently they went mobile, which means that I can actually stream from my phone, which is what I'm doing today. So I'm playing around with lighting and with moving things around and just, creating a nice sacred space for today. As you guys know, Friday is Q&A with Yogi Real Estate Reg, where you get to ask me questions and I answer them through video. So this week, it was kind of interesting because I had the same question come up over and over again. And it was very interesting that it's showing up now because I think there's a lot of people that are very interested in this topic. Can you guys guess what it is? Drop a thought below. Let me know what do you think it is? And maybe you have a question that you're curious about. Go ahead and share that with me now and let me know so that I can answer your question. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to answer this very interesting question that keeps coming up. So much so that I've actually talked about this in a previous Q&A Friday before, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share again because there's so much to it and because a lot of people are curious. So I don't know if you can see my board here, but let's see. Oh, there we go. It's a little hard to see, but it says, what is Reiki? Right? Anybody know what Reiki is? Well, Reiki, it's kind of a little ninja uh, modality that I've used for a couple years, and I don't talk about it too much just because it is a little woo-woo, but it's pretty amazing. And I myself was really resistant to it when I first started working with it. And Reiki, what it is a very, I'd say, ancient tradition. It started actually, the lineage that I'm trained under is the Japanese um, lineage, and it is all about using energy to heal. Right now, whether you believe it or not, healing comes in many different forms, and I've found in my own experience in working with my students and clients, and even with my own family and friends, that Reiki is an energy healing modality. And when we activate the energy within ourselves, uh, let me take that back. When we activate healing energy, it can come through our body in different forms. So sometimes you might notice where you do something that someone says, "Oh, this is super healing," and then you notice a rash or acne, right? Let's say you're using a new skin regime and you start to flush out the toxins in your body. Now, if it's a prolonged symptom, or I should say result, right, then you do need to be careful. So, for example, with skincare example, if the irritants or the chemicals inside the skincare line or whatever it is that you're using are irritants, they will in fact hurt your skin and damage your skin. But when you're working with sensitive and natural alternatives like Reiki and like energy modalities that work with similar types of sources where it's literally you're just working with energy, there is no chemical, right? There is no, could it be my new skincare line or could it be this new, you know, thing that I'm using, right? That has some chemicals, my new shampoo or something. You take out that factor of, is it something I'm putting into my body that shouldn't be there, a foreign object, for example, or a foreign substance. right? So one of the reasons that I love Reiki so much is because I've seen it over and over help people, including myself, to literally flush out whatever's not necessary and whatever's not healthy in my body. So, for example, recently was asked for someone asked me for help with a headache, right? And they kept having a headache and they kept having a headache. And so finally I was asked, hey, can you help me release this headache? And I said, sure. So I did some long distance Reiki, and it's basically a series of letters. So you get trained in this modality. And then what happens, you get trained in the modality and then you're initiated, right? So it's kind of cool because you have to learn the sequence and all that. And then there's really, we're all energy, right? So we all have the capability and the opportunity to be Reiki healers, right? Once you go through the steps and you go through the levels, you can become what's called a Reiki master, which is a level 3, and you can actually initiate other people and bring them into their also Reiki talents and skills. And like I said, it's something that I wasn't super open to in the beginning because I'm in real estate, right? My background was in real estate, and even though I loved yoga, I didn't see myself as a yogi for a very long time, and until I really got started with my journey and continued on. It took me a little while, but as I start to develop those skills and develop those gifts and really nurture this, I got to be able to see what Reiki did for people. And so if you have a cut where you have a um, ache, right, you can do Reiki, right? If you have even something mild, like you just want to feel better, right? Maybe you're feeling a little off. I mean, it's a lot like exercise in the sense that when you change your state, if you go for a walk, you feel much better, right? If you're all pent up frustration and somebody upset you, you go for a walk, you might feel better. You might release some energy, right? When we say change your state, release the energy that no longer serves you. Let go of stagnant energy. That is sort of a form of Reiki, right? So what can Reiki do for you? It can do a lot, right? And that's our second question is how can Reiki help me? So Reiki can help you feel better, right? Reiki can, of course, release toxins. It can release damaging buildup in the body. It can also help move energy from one area to another. And again, it is something that you learn. It's a skill, and we actually get taught this. So we go to Reiki school, so to speak. And again, it's not something that I've talked a lot about in my life until recently, because I understood that now people are more open. So I just wanted to give you a little bit about Reiki because it is something that's been coming up a lot. A lot of people have been asking about it and, curious how can it help them. So if you're feeling anything that isn't jiving with you, if you're feeling a little stuck in one area of your life or you feel like you could use a little lift, give yourself a Reiki, right? Or have someone that give you some Reiki. And Reiki can come in all kinds of forms, right? You can have 1 minute Reiki, you can have 2 hours of Reiki. So there's a lot of different kinds, and it also depends who's sharing that Reiki with you. So it's kind of like an exchange, not an exchange. Well, it is an exchange, but it's more than that. It's a transference of energy. So you also want to be mindful who's giving you Reiki, because if their energy is negative, their energy is not very positive, right, and it doesn't align with yours, you might not feel better. You might actually feel worse. So you do want to be very mindful of who you're engaging in Reiki with, so to speak. And there's a lot more when it comes to Reiki and all the amazing things about it. Like I said, it's very ancient, old tradition, and it works really well actually with yoga, which is how I started doing it. And just like yoga has been around for 5,000 years, Reiki's been around for a long time. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Of course, I do Reiki sessions along with yoga and private meditation sessions as well. And then I do have a 30-day course that I'm launching actually very soon, releasing the program here in just a couple weeks. And I'd love for you to join me on this Monday, July 20th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to learn more, it's a free webinar, free class. We're going to have lots of fun. I'm going to share some really cool tips, things I've never shared before on how to heal. And, excuse me, there's a saying in Russian, which is where my family's from, which is when someone sneezes, it's true. So we're going to have a good time. So I hope to see you guys. And I look forward to next Friday where we'll talk about another awesome question of the day. And if you have any questions for me, if there's a topic you're curious about, whether it's yoga, meditation, mindfulness, mindset, energy, real estate, whatever it is, how can real estate help my business? Or how can yoga help my real estate business? Maybe that'll be a question. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day. And remember to make it a great day, make it a great life. And remember that peace is changing from the inside out. Have an awesome day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, here another awesome episode of the Pearls of Peace podcast with Regina Rosa Celeste. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.